don't think Anne would mind my saying that I'm in love with Natalie Dessay. Anne, forgive me.
You guys work that out.
Before the premiere of this production earlier this month, Met Opera radio host Margaret Juntwait sat down with our Cleopatra, Natalie Dessay, to talk about preparing for this role.
French soprano Natalie Dessay has sung a tremendous range of roles in her career, from the light and spectacular roles like Olympia in Tales of Hoffmann and Zerbinetta in Ariadne auf Naxos, to the meteor parts of Violetta in La Traviata, the title role in Lucia di Lammermoor, and Juliette in Romeo et Juliette. She excels on the stage in the craft of acting, and although her voice is instantly recognizable, she's someone who would prefer to be known as a singing actor. Back at the stage, she is here to interpret the role of Cleopatra in Handel's Giulio Cesare, and it's so great to have Natalie Dessay back again. Welcome.
Hello.
From the moment Caesar sees Cleopatra in her aria Vadoro Pupille, he falls in love with her, and of course the audience has to as well. Have you thought about what it takes in this very physical production to make a man fall in love with you?
Yeah, that was not the question. The first question was, am I able to dance while singing? Let's be more pragmatic. You know?
Shall we get to that right away? Because there's a lot of dancing.
Yes, 4 numbers I've danced, actually.
4 numbers.
4 numbers out of 7.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. But I saw the production before. I've seen it live in Lille with the wonderful Anna Christie. And I've seen the DVD with Danielle Denise, who created this production with David McVicar, who was absolutely incredible. April, I think I won't have that much roles anymore, as interesting as this one. So before I quit, I really wanted to try to go into such a production.
Because you've done the role before.
Yes,
it's not like you haven't done Cleopatra.
I've done it once in Paris, but in a normal production by Laurent Pellier, very beautiful production, but I was not supposed to dance in that production. So that was a real challenge for me, and I must say, if I had known. But now I'm happy because I really learned a lot.
Did you know in advance that you were going to have to maybe prepare yourself in some sort of way physically?
Yes.
What did you
I
do?
knew that.
What did you do?
I went to yoga every day. So since 1 month, I go to yoga almost every day. And it helps me a lot.
When you do even the smallest amount of movement, the breathing changes. I wouldn't say people start
the
breathing
breathing
heavily.
and the concentration also. Because you concentrate on something else as music and the feelings. You concentrate totally differently. So that's the main problem. And also, the logic, the dancer's logic, is not the singer's logic. So they put movements where we would never put movements, or not like that. So that's very difficult. You have to separate your 2 brains.
I mentioned to you, as I did to Christophe Dumont, that you had done a big dance interlude when I thought it was the end of an aria that you were singing that I caught sort of at the last minute, and I figured that was the end of the aria, but it was only you leading into the B section of the Da Capo aria.
Right.
Do you get to stop when you dance, or are you dancing in between?
I'm dancing all the time,
All the time.
mostly. Because when you start to dance, then you can't really park. Then, even if you don't have any movement to do, you have to be in this stamina all the time.
So has your stamina increased in rehearsals?
I think so. I lost weight, which is a good thing.
I imagine you would.
Yes. And I feel much more energetic, yes.
Now, you say you've learned a lot, you've gotten a lot from this. Tell us what you have learned and what you've gotten from
First
this
of
production.
all, I learned that I had a very, very big will. I wasn't sure of that anymore, because there is I like to challenge myself, but I never challenged myself that way.
See, now that surprises me, because I think everybody thinks of you as a person with a big will who...
Yeah, but lately, I was a bit depressed, didn't know what I wanted to do afterwards, and so I let it go a little bit. And with this production, I had to recollect.
You recaptured something.
Yes. My will and my stamina and also my desire, which was a little gone, you know.
Which I could imagine could happen in someone's career anyway.
Oh yes, of course, we have moments of downs, and it's very normal. But I'm happy to discover that I still like it.
You know, there's a joy to this production, and I don't know if I would necessarily ever use that word. There are all kinds of words that I'm using now to describe Giulio Cesare that I never used before. Joy, delight,
this
charm.
production is just brilliant. Brilliant.
Can you describe a couple of things so people can begin to picture it?
Because it's very detailed, it's very theatrical, it's very entertaining, and it's difficult. It's difficult to achieve that kind of work with an opera seria. Because the form, the shape of an opera seria is very boring. Aria, recitativo, aria, recitativo, aria, recitativo. Almost no ensemble. Just one duet at the end. And the arias have all the same shape, A, B, and then A again with ornaments. It can be endless, even though the music is fabulous. But in this production, you don't see the time going by.
That's what everyone has said. It flies by, even
It
though
flies,
it is a long opera.
and it lasts 4 hours, but it flies like one.
So when you're playing Cleopatra, this is one of the greatest female characters in all of history. How do you find that level of mystique of a human being?
You know, his production is more about the dance, the stamina, the charm, also because she disguises also herself as Lydia. So she plays a character into the play. She plays 2 characters actually. She plays herself and Lydia. So that's also very funny. And the combination of comedy and drama is also very interesting. Because at the beginning, of course, it's really like a comedy, and at the end, when she fights Ptolomeo, her brother, and when he seems to be the winner of the battle, she's really despaired and thinks that she's going to die. So you have to embody that too.
Mm-hmm. What is her real motivation? Does she love Caesar, or is it all political?
Power.
It's power.
And so Cesare is a powerful man. That's what she loves, I think.
It's almost like a variety show, just getting to the description of this production. You know, like now we're going to have a guy spinning plates, and now we're going to have a dog act, and now it keeps changing.
Yes. But that's what's very interesting also with this production, because every aria is a number, is a musical number. And so for the audience, it's very thrilling, because you wait for the next one. What will it be? Yeah! It's like in the circus, you know.
And the set changes quickly.
Yeah,
lots
the
of colors.
set is always the same, but we have lots of curtains, lots of props, lots of furniture, wonderful costumes. I have to say that the costumes are totally incredible. I have 5 changes.
It doesn't stay within one period of time, does it?
No. We are more or less at the end of the 19th century, when England was not invading, but was in
colonizing.
India. Yeah, colonizing India. Mm-hmm. So it's more or less that kind of thing. But then it goes a little bit to Bollywood, then in a little bit in the 20s.
Would you say this is one of the hardest projects you have ever taken on?
Yeah, physically, and yeah, I would say so.
And yet you've always said how much the stage and the theater means to you. Is this the most fulfilling, then, that you've taken on?
Yeah, in that way, in that physical way, yes, certainly. And I'm really happy to present it at the Met. Even though it's a very big hall for such music. So I would have preferred to present it in a small hall.
Can you make the Met feel intimate?
We try that. Harry Beckett was
your conductor.
Yeah, our conductor was very intelligent to bring only a few people in the pit, so to try to recreate the atmosphere of a Baroque orchestra. And in that sense, it helps us not to have to scream all the time to overcome a full orchestra. So that's the good thing. And plus, he taught them how to approach as much as possible the Baroque aesthetic.
Yeah. Even though they're playing with contemporary
Yes,
instruments.
of course.
Harry Bickett also said that Handel gives you, and this is a quote, so much permission to use your imaginations. He doesn't dictate how it's to be done. So does that release you to put whatever you want to into this music? It must.
Yes, because you can adapt. Some cadenzas, for example, I have to change because it's not the mood we want in this production, and we are allowed to do whatever we want and to use whatever we want in order to serve the production.
Talk about some of your cast members. We mentioned Christophe Dumont, who is Tolomeo.
Yes, my brother, my dear brother, and
her eyes have
husband,
narrowed.
by the way.
A good.
No, yeah. He's a wonderful Tolomeo. I mean, his technique and his style in this music are perfect.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a wonderful, nasty character. Although in life, he's the most exquisite young man that you can meet.
David Daniels.
Daniels. First time that we sing together, and I'm very happy about that because we know each other since a very long time. We are in the same record company, but we never could work together, and this is the first time, and I'm really happy that it happens at last.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people can circle around each other, and you weren't directed only in that Baroque repertoire, which is where he would be. So now you have that chance.
Yes.
Alice Coote and Patricia
Coote,
Barden.
I knew her before. We've done concerts together. I'm really thrilled to work with these people. Rashid, also Ben Absalam, wonderful Nireno. He has only one aria, but his aria is how would you call that?
Showstopper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very, very much Bollywood, and with wonderful choreography also by Andrew George.
That's right. So a lot has been said about the Bollywood dancing, and
actually that's the really only one with mine in Badro Pupille.
Oh, okay.
But it's really exquisite and very funny.
But every time people see Bollywood dancing who are not involved in that culture, it's so infectious. Everybody wants to learn those movements and be part of a big Bollywood production number.
And actually, this goes very well with the music. Because when you listen to Handel, you want to dance.
This is what David McVicker said, too.
Yes, but I totally agree.
Yeah, that Handel makes him want to dance.
Yes.
This is his favorite production that he's ever created.
I think it's his best production. Till now.
Yeah, till now. I was about to ask you at the very beginning, until you said we have to talk about the dancing. How do you make a man fall in love with you? I mean, what do you do on stage?
Oh my God.
To do this? Is it through dance in this production? Is that what's used to seduce him?
I really don't know because I'm not really interested in real life in what seduction is. So it's very difficult for me to answer this question. But I think on stage it's through the singing, the dancing, and the acting. Because I'm another person, so I can afford all the things that I can't in real life.
Do you go by instinct on stage a lot?
Yes, a lot. And also I listen to the director, what he has to say, and what kind of story he has to tell. I want to be told stories like a little child. So if you tell me stories, I can do anything then. Because my imagination goes and works suddenly.
And this is the perfect production for that, because it's like episode after episode,
Yes.
story after story after
Yes.
story, all telling one big story.
Yes. No, it's really interesting. But in general also. Even in normal productions, I like when people tell me stories that they have in their mind.
So after you do this, which is one of the hardest things you've done physically, where do you go from here?
I go to San Francisco And actually, I will do only one role in the Tales of Hoffmann, Antonia, that I've done already in Barcelona in February, January, February. So it will be like vacation.
Everything's going to be easy after
Yes,
this.
really.
Bring it on. Handel's Giulio Cesare opens on April 4th, starring Natalie Dessay as Cleopatra, and it'll be broadcast live on Met Opera Radio. Now, those of you who would like to see David McVicker's beautiful production and Natalie Dessay dance and sing at the same time, it'll be shown in movie theaters live in HD on Saturday, April 27th. Natalie Dessay, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you very
with us,
much.
and in bocca lupo.
Crepi il lupo.
Like I said, I'm totally in love with her. Natalie Dessay talking with our very own Margaret Juntwait. So wonderful to hear them talking about this opera and about her singing and her dancing, all of it.